Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 4. So go ahead, grab your drink, and whatever else it is that you do, and let's get into this review, shall we? Alright, so the first couple we have up is Kayla and Martel. And Kayla meets up with Martel's mom for lunch, and they seem to have a pretty good relationship. And maybe last episode she was just tired or something because she seemed very standoffish to me. But from the sounds of it, it seems like they have a pretty good relationship. So they're just talking about their experience with Martel and how they had to lean on each other during his 13-year sentence. And they basically just are saying how they couldn't have done it without the other. And that was very nice to see. And his mom expresses how happy she is that he's out, and she basically makes a vow to make sure that he never goes back into prison. And I don't blame her. I couldn't imagine 13 years away, and you don't even know what they're doing to your child in jail and stuff. So I'm happy that he's out, and I know she is too. So they talk some more, and we learn that Kayla lost both of her parents, and that was just very, very sad. And I don't really want to go into the details of it because it's sad, and I don't want to be sad. But I'm just glad that she's finding her way, and I hope she knows that she's probably making her parents very, very proud of her. So then her mom or his mom asks Kayla what her family thinks about her relocating. And Kayla says that she didn't really tell them the reason why she left and that they have no clue who Martel is. Now, Kayla, why would you tell his mother that you're hiding her son from your family? That was probably like the biggest red flag to his mom. Like, how come they don't know about my child? And it seemed like his mom was just like, he's a good person. He paid his debt to society. They have no reason not to like him, which is what a mom should do. Yeah. So then Kayla asked his mom, does she have to worry about him being faithful? And his mom tells Kayla that she doesn't think she has anything to worry about. But she tells the camera that he may meet up with some people, and some of them might be women, might be exes. It is what it is. That ain't none of her business, basically. He's out, he's free, he can do what he want to do. So then we have another scene where Kayla is on her way to pick up Martel from the halfway house. I guess he got a 48-hour furlough like Rating got. So they get to their apartment, and she's showing him around, and they get to the kitchen, and he asks her, when's the last time you used a stove? Because he sees crumbs on it. And he told her that she should have cleaned it before she left the kitchen the previous night. So she kind of like brushes it off, and then she's showing him the rest of the apartment, and they get to the laundry room area, and he says, yeah, you could have done the laundry too. And that's when Kayla is like, no more, no more. You're not about to talk to me like this. So she's in one of their spare bedrooms, and she's heated at this point because he's basically insulted her. She feels like he's calling her dirty, and he's saying this on national TV. So I get it. I wouldn't appreciate that either. So they get into this whole big argument. Martel gets up and leaves, and he's on the phone, and he's trying to figure out how he's about to leave because he's not staying there for the night. And I feel like this is a stupid argument over crumbs and laundry that really could have been handled, but because, hell, I don't even know why, but for some reason they're bumping heads, and Martel calls a ride and he leaves, and Kayla's just sitting there. I don't know. These two, like I said, I think that there's more to their story. I don't think that they're faithful to each other. That's just my opinion. But anyways, that's where it left with them in the middle of the argument over crumbs. Next up, we have Chance and Taylor. And so their scene starts with the kids playing around in the living room, and Chance and Taylor are in the kitchen. And the first thing we hear is him telling her that she is doing some hillbilly stuff because she decided that she wants to have her cups in a drawer or something, I guess, instead of in a top cabinet. And I thought that was rude because that's how she wants to run her home. that's how she wants to run her home, and he ain't putting in on nothing anyway, so he really shouldn't have a say or a comment about anything that's going on. But I digress. So Taylor asks Bobby if she wants some pizza, and Bobby declines. And Taylor can tell that there's some tension with their sister, but she just kind of lets her sister be and walks away. So her and Chance and the girls are sitting at the table and they're eating pizza, and you could tell that Taylor is tired or something, like in her eyes, like she's just, her mind's not there, you know. And Chance is trying to feed her pizza, and she says, "No, I'm good." And this gets him irritated because, well, I don't even know why. I guess because she won't eat the pizza with him. And so he starts to question her, and he gets a little disrespectful to the point where her daughters are like, maybe she's not hungry. Why are you being mean? Like he was pushing her so much to eat some pizza and saying, "It's my first time having pizza since I've been out, and you don't want to eat it with me." He's all about himself. It's all about Chance. And so when the little girls are like, "Why are you being so mean?" Chance actually responds to the kids that he's wondering why the hell his girlfriend won't eat with him. Again, a kid shouldn't bring you to that. You shouldn't be in a relationship with a woman with kids if you don't like kids, or you can't take them like that, or you can get petty with the best of them. Don't be with somebody with kids if you can't handle that. One of the kids asks, "But what if mom is just full?" And he says, "Why did we order pizza then if you're not going to eat?" He directed it towards Taylor, but that's a red flag. Like I said, he's directing his frustrations at the kids. I don't know. He's just doing it in like this indirect way. And he's doing it in front of them too. That's what I don't understand. That's a red flag. And if she can't see it, I hope Bobby sees it. And so Taylor's goofy self is worried about Chance being mad instead of the poor example that she's setting for her girls. And that's what baffles me. You have 3 girls under 15 and they're watching you get disrespected. So they might grow up and think, well, that's just normal because, mom let Chance come in and disrespect her and take over her house. So, that's normal. That's what relationships are. Whew. These people, man, these people. So, Taylor gets her kids up from the table, and Chance is talking big shit to the cameras. And at this point, Bobby comes out of the room. And when Bobby comes out of the room, Chance ends his little interview and takes a shower. And I think he did that because I think he's a little intimidated by Bobby. I think he is. And I think he's intimidated by her because she sees right through it. She's been to prison. She knows that prison game, I guess. So Bobby goes and she sits with Taylor on the couch, and Taylor's acting like she just thought things would be perfect when he got out and they would just be this family. And now she's overwhelmed. And what she should have did, she should have told Chance to leave while he was talking reckless on camera. Right when he was in the middle of talking about how, this is his house too, she should have been like, "Actually, no, it's not. Go to your people's house. We need to date. We don't need to be living together." That's how she could have ended that whole thing. But we get another scene of Chance and Taylor, and they're on her bed, and he pulls out some of his jail stuff. And Taylor notices that he has numbers from other women, and she questions him about it. And he says, "Well, I have 38 female cousins," and he points to their numbers. And he says, "But these are the women that aren't my cousins," and points to them. And then has the nerve to laugh about it and say that he chose her. He said that he could have been with somebody without kids, not a lot of bills, and someone who had a career. He's basically saying that he settled for Taylor, who has nothing going on in her life. And I hope that she rewatches it back and sees how big of an insult that actually is to her and what she's been doing and just her raising her kids and stuff. Like, no. That, to me, that is disrespect, and I hope she says something to him about it. But knowing her, she's just going to be like, "Oh, well, that's just Chance." Ugh, they get on my nerves. So then he uses her getting irritated about all the women that he was talking to, he uses that as the moment for him to say something about her fiance who passed away and questions why she still has pictures of him up. And he asks if the pictures are up for her or for her daughters. And I don't know, like I feel like that's these little girls' dad, and he's no longer here. So I think that she's just trying to make it as normal as possible, and that they know that they were created in love. No matter what, there was love there, and I get that. It's so important, especially when parents aren't together or one of them passes or whatever. That child knows, like, we might not be together or they're not here, but we created you. That was love. That's so important. That's so important. And I commend Taylor on that one little thing because that's important. And I like how she told him that if they grow up and they want to know something or they want to see things, I can pull out my phone and I have all of this stuff here for them. He shouldn't even question that. And even the way he reacted to her telling him all of this, it was just very just like scumbaggy. Like he's touching all on her hair and saying, well, I want to add to the family. I see right through him. I think that's my issue. Chance thinks that he is more than what he is. And again, how are you coming into this woman's home and you are not bringing anything to the table? That's, I'm sorry, maybe I was just raised different, but I really believe in a man that don't labor don't eat. And granted, he's working now, but that's off the strength of her friendship, her relationship with somebody. So really, Chance, you ain't done nothing for yourself. Taylor is still providing everything, because if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't even have a job. So don't ever get it twisted. But I'm rambling. That was all that happened with it. All right, so next we have Rick and Ray Dean. So it's finally time for Thanksgiving dinner, and Ramona comes over. And Ramona is Rick's best friend. They're roommates, and they've been friends for a very long time, but there's nothing going on. So they're all sitting around for dinner, and there's a place set for Kay, which is Ray Dean's girlfriend, if you forgot. So she's on FaceTime with them, and the family is so comfortable and acting like it's normal. Like, Kay is interacting with everybody, and Rick is so uncomfortable, and I just really feel bad for him. So after the FaceTime with Kay, Rick gets up and leaves the table, and Ray Dean takes that as an opportunity to ask Ramona what she should know about Rick. And Ramona just tells her that he's done a lot in preparation for her to come, and they want to make sure that she has a safe environment to come to. But who's Kay? And I'm glad she like said all this good stuff, but she needed to know, like, who is Kay? What is her relation to you? And Ray Dean tells her that Kay is her girlfriend and that everyone is becoming friends. So she's basically downplaying the situation. And Ramona sees right through it, and she excuses herself. She says that, I think I'm going to go now. And I'm glad she just didn't sit there and make it seem like that kind of behavior is okay. So then Rick and Ray Dean finally leave Ray Dean's family's house, and they go over to Rick, and he doesn't really care about what happened because he's just happy to be with Ray Dean, and he knows that they're about to be intimate. So he really doesn't care that she just had her whole girlfriend for Thanksgiving dinner on FaceTime, and all of her family is talking to her like nothing is wrong. Nothing. I don't know. Couldn't be me. Could it be me? So it's the next day, and they've consummated their relationship. And again, Rick is more excited than Ray Dean. And Ray Dean flat out says that she was thinking about Kay the entire time that she was with Rick. And I feel like she should just leave this man. Don't waste any more of this time. Leave him. Let him go. So Rick and Ray Dean leave from Rick's house, and they're on their way to Ray Dean's dad's house. They're going to have some like brats or something. I don't know. And so on their way there, she gets a FaceTime call from Radine, not from Radine, from Kay. And Radine takes it. They're having a full-fledged conversation. And then she says, I love you afterwards. And you can tell that Rick is extremely uncomfortable with this entire situation. And so I don't know if she could tell, but then she asks, so what do you think about this? And he tells her that it hurts him when she does that. And then to add insult to injury, Radine says, well, I love Kay. I love her. She's not going anywhere. And you could tell that Rick is shaken up. He's visibly shaken up. You could see it in his eyes, like, gosh, I feel so bad for him. And I didn't think I would be feeling bad for old Rick, but I hope that he finds better because he doesn't deserve to go through this at all. So that's where we ended it with them, was Rick just looking sad. I was sad for him. All right, so next we have Harry and Indy. So it's the next morning and Harry didn't come home. And if you remember from the previous episode, he went to his friends to hang out for a little bit. So he didn't stroll in until 10 in the morning, acting like everything was cool. Indy questions him about his whereabouts, and Harry basically tells her nothing. He doesn't give her an answer. He doesn't care. And then he gaslights her and is basically like, I done cheated on you. I done all this stuff. Like, why are you still here? And Indy's going on about how cheating is bad and that they're spiritually married. And again, I really hope that she watches this back and hears how foolish she sounds. And the saddest part about this is she's raising little girls, and this is not the example that she wants to set. Just like Taylor, again, you've upped and moved your daughter to a whole different state without her family for this man who don't even really have any interaction with her like that. Or maybe we're just not seeing it, but he doesn't have much interaction with her. He's not interested. He's not interested in Indy or her child. He ain't interested in anything but living his life. And again, like I said before, he's young. He's young. He probably still has a 17-year-old mentality. So he makes a promise to her that he's not going to talk to any other girls anymore. And Indy just accepts it like that's law. And I think that she should already know that he's lying. I mean, for one, before you even came out there, you found out he was cheating. You get there, he doesn't come home, and obviously he's cheating because he comes home with a scrunchie in his hair. You didn't even question that, and if you did, they didn't show it. But that would have been the first thing I would have said. The first thing that I would have went smooth off about. You know what? Actually, no, I probably wouldn't have went off. I would have packed up the U-Haul and took me and my child back home. That's just me. So the next scene we see of Indy and Harry, I guess they're in a happy place. They're going to redo his release night and have some food and reconnect with his family. Indy takes her daughter and I think one of Lydia's kids, and they go somewhere so that the adults can have just some time. And so they're sitting around, they're having some food, and he asks them what they think of Indy. And Lydia says that she doesn't want her time being wasted because she's built a bond with Indy, and she doesn't want to see Harry just do her dirty if he's not for real about it. His other sister doesn't care either way. She thinks Indy is stupid because she basically dropped everything and moved to a whole different state for a man that she don't even really got like that. And I agree with her. I agree. So they start talking about how hard it was when Harry was gone and how much they suffered without his presence. And basically, they just love their little brother. It seems like, he grew up, he's the only boy, got a bunch of women around him. So as hard as he tries to be, like, he's got a lot of, this ain't a bad thing, he's got a lot of feminine energy. And that's probably why he's able to talk to these women, how he's able to talk to them and finesse them, because he's just around women. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but I think I put it together how his game goes. But after they eat, Harry and his mom have a private conversation, and his mom asks, what's really going on? What's going on with you and Indy? Because it seems like you're moving way too fast. She's trying to trap you, and I'm just concerned for you. And so Harry uses that as a segue into how rough they had it coming up and how he doesn't want to see another child grow up without a father figure around. And I actually felt some emotion with this scene. He comes from a single parent home. His mom worked a lot, and his mom was with a man who was abusive towards them. And his mom didn't know because she was just trying to provide. She was doing the best that she could. And yeah, I think Harry probably had enough time to be behind bars and realize, um his mom is human. I think a lot of times, when you grow up, you don't see your parent as just another human being. You think they are this perfect, almost godlike person who does no wrong, who like I said, who's perfect. And it takes you to become an adult to realize like all the stuff that you're going through when you feel like I'm just a normal person, but my parents are like gods. Like, no, they're humans too, and they were going through the exact same thing you're going through, if not worse. So I think he's just had a moment where, you know, he realized that life was life in. But I'm glad that he told his mom, like, I forgive you for everything, but I had to tell you that. I had to. And I think every child parent, well, not every, but a lot of times in single parent homes, you have to have that conversation because they have to make some really tough decisions, and as children we don't understand why they make those decisions until you get older, and you're like, yeah, I could go on and on about that, but I'm glad that he got it off his chest, and it seems like he's happy to be able to move forward with his family and make some new memories, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy that they're able to come together, because that first night when they was going back and forth, I was just like, dang, on the first night. But I'm glad that they got it all squared away and everybody's good and happy and ready to move on. So the final scene with them is we have Indy getting up and she's getting ready for them to spend the day together. And so she's getting her daughter together and they get in the car, and she lets Harry know that they're going to see a psychic. And Harry's not really feeling it because he thinks that they pick up on cues and that's how they're able to tell you stuff. Like he thinks it's not real. He's not buying it, but I guess he's just going to go just to go. So as they're driving to the psychic, they get pulled over, and luckily the officer just gives Harry a ticket and has Indy drive. But I kind of thought that it was a little bit reckless of her to allow Harry to drive her car, knowing that he ain't got no license. What if, I don't know. I feel like with traffic stops, anything can happen, especially her as a black woman. She should know that. So you don't ever put yourself in any kind of danger or risk, especially in a state that you're not from. Girl, no, couldn't have been me. But yeah, that's where it ended off with them, was just with Harry getting a ticket. So we'll see how the psychic goes, I guess, next episode. All right. So last and definitely least, we have Tiffany and Kevin. So Kevin's getting ready to head to pick up Tiffany, or to go stand in front of where she's getting out because Tiffany told him that she doesn't want him to pick her up. So his mom comes over to watch his dogs while he's gone. And his mom says that the fact that he hasn't communicated much with her might be the biggest communication that he has. And that's the best advice that anybody could have given him, because he's just creating a situation that doesn't need to be. And then we have Curtis, who is the other dude that Tiffany's talking to, and he's getting ready to go pick her up. And he's really excited, and before he goes to get her, he stops at IHOP or Waffle House or something and gets her a Texas-shaped waffle, I guess. I don't know. The he just sounds like a high school. He's stuck in high school, and it's one of those unrequited love type things where I want you, but you don't want me, but I'm not ever gonna stop, and I'm gonna keep on chasing you until I wear you down. It's giving a lot. I'll be honest. I don't care for either of them. But they're last because I mean there was they fought. So well, they didn't fight. Kevin punched Curtis. So Tiffany comes out of the halfway house, and Kevin's like, hey, what's going on? She says hi, and she goes straight to Curtis's truck. So instead of Kevin just getting in his car and leaving, like, okay, well, obviously she didn't want me to pick her up, he stands there and he taunts Curtis until they're going back and forth, back and forth. He keeps calling Curtis a weenie, and I don't know, that's just lame to me. Like, that whole thing is lame to me. And then they're in front of each other's faces, and Kevin swings, and it knocks out Curtis. He's on the ground. And that's it. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of Tiffany and Kevin. I feel like they're just on the show just to be on the show. I don't think Kevin's gonna stop doing whatever he does, and Tiffany probably still has some connections of people that she used to talk to. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. That's where the episode ended. So, yeah, I'll be back for the next one, and hopefully I can get caught up, and then we'll be able to do these correctly when the next season comes. All right, that's all I got. Bye.